Hello students, welcome back. Today we will be starting a new chapter, that is chapter 8 of your textbooks, quadrilaterals. And the topics to be covered would be introduction, angle sum property of quadrilateral, types of quadrilaterals, properties of a parallelogram, another condition for a quadrilateral to be a parallelogram, the midpoint theorem, and finally the summary. So let us start with the introduction. So far we have learnt about lines and triangles. What did we learn about lines and triangles? Something common between them is that if you have any 3 points A, B, C such that they are collinear and you connect these 3 points, then you get a straight line, right? But if the 3 points, let me mark these points as A, B, C. But if these 3 points are not collinear, okay, let's say A, B and C, and you connect these 3 points, then what you get is a close-ended figure which is triangle. But this was pertaining to 3 points, right? We have A, B and C. So 3 points. Now let's extend this to 4 points. So if I have 4 non-collinear points and I connect them, I get a close 4-sided figure. See, this is side, I'll mark my vertices A, B, C, D. I get a 4-sided figure. So this is my side 1, this is side 2, this is side 3 and side 4. And so this figure has 4 vertices, 4 sides and 4 angles. This figure is known as a quadrilateral. So what is a quadrilateral? A close-ended 4-sided figure. Which will have 4 vertices, 4 sides and 4 angles. And why are we learning about quadrilaterals? So quadrilaterals is something that is close-ended and close-ended 4-sided figure. What other objects do you see in your surroundings that are 4-sided? Look at this board, this is 4-sided. Anything that you look around is in form of certain shapes, right? It could be circular, triangular, rectangular. So that is why this forms one of the important topics of geometry, a little bit more of advanced geometry. Also, if you need to find the area of a table or a platform or anything, then again you need to know that whether what type of quadrilateral it is, and then you can compute the area very easily. So this is why we are learning about quadrilaterals, so that we get more acquainted with advanced geometry. Now, moving on to the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Let us draw a quadrilateral. So I have drawn an irregular quadrilateral A, B, C, D. None of the sides are equal. I am not mentioning whether any side or angle is equal. But let's say I connect side B to vertex B to vertex D. What do I get? I get 2 triangles. Which 2 triangles? I get triangle ABD and I get triangle CDB. Correct? So sum of areas of this triangle is going to be 180 degrees and this is going to be 180 degrees. Correct? But my quadrilateral ABCD is made up of triangle ABD and triangle CDB. So I am going to add these. Therefore, the sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 180 plus 180 degrees, which is 360 degrees. So this is applicable and it is true for any quadrilateral that the sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Is equal to 360 degrees, right? Now let's move on to the types of quadrilaterals that we have. So my quadrilaterals have been divided into 6 major categories. and quadrilaterals are usually denoted as, so if I need to mention quadrilateral ABCD, I am going to say box ABCD. This means quadrilateral ABCD. So now the types of quadrilaterals, we have the first category as a trapezium. The second category as parallelogram. Then third one as rectangle. Then I have square. Then I have rhombus. And finally I have kite. So let us see first of all what they look like. A trapezium will look something like this. So if this is my trapezium A, B, C, D, then AB will be parallel to CD. So what is a trapezium? A trapezium is a quadrilateral in which any one pair of the opposite sides is parallel. Any one pair of opposite side is parallel or are parallel. Pair, so are parallel. Right? Then let's move on to what parallelogram is. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which the pair of opposite sides are parallel. So both the pairs are parallel. Which are the two pairs that we get? If I have my quadrilateral ABCD, which are the two pair of opposite sides? I have AB and CD parallel as opposite sides. Correct? So this is going to be parallel to this. AB is going to be parallel to CD, and I will have AD parallel to BC. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which both pair of opposite sides are parallel. Now let's move on to a rectangle. We know what a rectangle looks like, right? What do we know about rectangle? We have the lengths equal and the breadth equal. So if this is the length, if I have my rectangle ABCD, what do we know so far? That this length is going to be equal to this length, that is AD is equal to BC and AB is equal to DC. But did we know that it is a parallelogram in which any one angle is 90 degrees, which is why all the angles will turn out to be 90 degrees. So it's a parallelogram in which each of the angle is 90 degrees. You will see why in one of the theorems that the angle is 90, why only given that even one angle is 90 degrees, all the angles, remaining angles are 90 degrees, and therefore it's a rectangle. We have a theorem later on. So this is a parallelogram. Parallelogram are represented by parallel and GM. Parallelogram in which each angle is equal to 90 degrees, or each angle is a right angle. So you see that a rectangle is a parallelogram, but a parallelogram is not a rectangle. Why? Because parallelogram, it is not really given that each angle is 90 degrees. Similarly, for trapezium over here, parallelogram is a trapezium, but trapezium is not a parallelogram. Let's move on to square. What do we know about square? Square is again going to be a rectangle in which each side is equal. A square is a parallelogram in which each side is equal and each angle is 90 degrees. So if I have my square ABCD, first of all here for rectangle, let's mark the congruent side. This means AB is equal to DC and AD is equal to BC. Now for square, I have all sides equal. So what can I say? I can define square in two ways, either using my rectangle or my parallelogram. So let's do it with parallelogram first. So square is a parallelogram in which each angle is equal to 90 degree and all sides are equal. Or I can define it using my rectangle. So I'll say or it is a rectangle in which all sides are equal. So if I when I define my square as a rectangle, I need not mention that each angle is 90 degrees, because when I call it a rectangle, it is assumed that each angle of my square is 90 degrees. So what is remaining is that each side is equal. So we just mentioned rectangle in which all sides are equal. So now let's move on to rhombus. A rhombus is nothing but a parallelogram, but a parallelogram, a type of parallelogram in which each side is equal. So if I have my rhombus ABCD, each side is going to be equal. So you must be wondering what is the difference between the square and rhombus. In a square we have each angle as 90 degrees, but in a rhombus each angle is not 90 degrees. This is what it differentiates a rhombus from a square or a square from a rhombus. So now rhombus is a parallelogram. So now you must be wondering that this is also looking like a rhombus, but let's just redraw this a little more in a better way. So I have A, B, C, D. So now we have a parallelogram here. Opposite sides are parallel. So in rhombus, opposite sides are parallel, okay, as well as each side is equal. Here we have AB equal to CD and AD equal to BC. But here AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD. So I can say rhombus is a parallelogram in which each side is equal, or in which all sides are equal. And then finally we have a kite. So what does a kite look like? We all must have flown kites on Makar Sankranti. So obviously Indians, we all are aware of what kite looks like. It looks something like this, right? So if I call A, B, C, D. Now A, B, C, D, if you notice over here, that it is a quadrilateral in which a pair of adjacent sides are equal. It is not a parallelogram. Why? Because even if AC is equal to BD, AC is not going to be equal to BD. I have AB is equal to AC and BD is equal to CD. So ABCD is a kite in which the adjacent pair of sides are equal. It is not a parallelogram. In a parallelogram we have opposite sides parallel and equal. So kite, it is a quadrilateral in which adjacent sides are equal, in which a pair of adjacent sides are equal. So these are the 6 major categories in which quadrilaterals have been categorized. What can you say? That a parallelogram is a trapezium, but a trapezium is not a parallelogram. Similarly, a rhombus, square and rectangles are parallelogram, but it is not essential that a parallelogram is a rectangle, square or rhombus. Why? Because the other criteria of 90-degree angles or equal sides is not fitting in for my parallelogram. Similarly, kite is only just a quadrilateral. It cannot be categorized, subcategorized into any of these, either as a trapezium, parallelogram, and obviously since it cannot be categorized under the parallelogram, it can never be called a rectangle, square or rhombus. So with this we have taken a look at the introduction, angle sum property of a quadrilateral, which states that the sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. and types of quadrilaterals, which is these six major categories. We'll take a look at the remaining topics in the forthcoming lectures. Thank you.
Hope this video increased your knowledge. For more such videos and a completely free educational content, log on to www.epathshala.org or visit our ePathshala YouTube channel. We have each and every question solved for maths, physics, chemistry and biology. So subscribe our channel, share with your friends, like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter handle for regular updates and important educational tips, and also win ePathshala goodies. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe this channel and enjoy the freedom of education.